All right, gents, we're in for a treat. Got Mr. Darren Smith on the Zoom. He's very kindly given up some of his time to share his result. He's just come to the end of an amazing 12 weeks. Darren, how did you get on in the fat loss code?
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's one of those things where I think from my perspective, I've always struggled with my weight. It's always been something that's been in the background. I got away with it when I was younger from doing loads of sport and stuff. I did karate, I did all kinds of sport. I played rugby. But as I got older, over 30, and then towards my late 30s and having kids, it's just, it's always a struggle. But to get back on track, this program basically has steered my health back towards being positive, which it wasn't before. Yeah, I found the program very, very informative, but also very, very effective.
Awesome. Well, tell everyone the weight you started at, and how you were feeling then before we started, like 3 months ago. What weight did you weigh then?
Yeah, so I started off, I was like just over 21 and a half stone. So basically 300 pounds in total. And it was, it was gained over a number of years. It wasn't kind of a sudden thing. It just kind of crept up on me, really. And now I've lost 38 pounds and I'm under 19 stone.
So 38 pounds in 12 weeks. So look, how are you feeling then in terms of energy and the confidence, all the things we talk about, to how you feel now? What's been the difference?
Yeah, energy is a big one. I don't think I was. I wasn't sleeping well. Just little things. Coming down the stairs in the morning, holding my kids as I'm walking down. Sometimes, as I do, the pain I got in my knees and my hips, and just getting in and out the car. Little things like that. And then one of the things that kind of I really remember from just even 12 weeks ago is just tying my shoelaces. Just my stomach was in the way, and it was a nightmare to do. So yeah, it wasn't great. It was not a great way of living.
So you feel much better now then? Yeah.
I do way better, way more energy. I've always, from what I've said to you already, I've always liked exercise. I've always liked historically, from my 20s and even younger, done sports and things like that. But as I've got older and the weight came on, I didn't really have the energy to exercise, and now I've got energy to exercise. I don't blink about going to the gym or going for a walk or whatever it might be. So I've definitely got way more energy, way more flexibility. I think one of the big things for me is just the consciousness of feeling smaller. So little things like I used to have to squeeze down the side of the house to put the bins out. Now I don't. Just little things like that.
But it's those little things that actually make the big things in life, don't they? So do you think you've gained confidence in any area of your life having lost this weight?
Yeah, I do. I do think so. I think one of the things I've part of my work and what I do is I create videos, and I think over time, as the weight's gone on, I've kind of pulled back a little bit from doing that. I've always been waiting to create a new training course of like video modules, and I've only recently started recording them now, and I think that is pretty much partly down to how I look on camera. I think that is part of it. So confidence is definitely up as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, what was the deciding factor? What made you sort of reach out and decide, okay, you decide we had a conversation, but what made you think, what was the sort of the tipping point that made you think I need to do something about this now?
I've always had the tipping point in my mind, front of mind actually for a while. I'm one of those people. I don't bury my head, so to speak. I know when there's a problem, and even if I pretend there isn't, that I know it's still there. And I think it was just on LinkedIn. I was just going through my feed and I've seen some of your content and I saw one of your surveys. And I was like, yeah, I'm one of those guys who needs to lose at least, way over 30 pounds in the long term. And I think that's what's kind of started my movement towards getting something done. So it was always there in my front of mind. And I think, one of the other things as well is health, ultimately my health. And I think a couple of years ago, I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes. So again, that's something, again, front of mind. But it's kind of made me think I have to take care of this. And I think it was just right place, right time, right person. And it just all kind of aligned.
Awesome. Have you been back for a blood test since? Have they
It's
checked?
booked. It's booked. Yeah. So it's not happening. It's not happened yet since just finishing this 12 weeks, but it is booked. It's coming up in about a week and a half. And I'm pretty sure it'll be fine because I can feel the difference in my, blood sugar changes, the crashes and the palpitations and all sorts of stuff. I think that's all gone. I used to get really terrible acid reflux as well. That's gone, completely gone. I used to literally go through a 12 pack of Gaviscon every few days. So
Really?
Yeah, I
And you're
did.
not doing that now.
No, not at all. Not at all. I've done Gaviscon once in the last 12, well, twice in the last 12 weeks, and that was because of drinking and kebabs, not day to day, just
Yeah.
living. And that's basically what I think is one of the big things as well, is that my reflux has gone.
Sure, that's huge, and no doubt that you'll see your resting glucose will change rapidly. And just by simply by losing that type of weight is enough to take someone from pre-diabetic or insulin resistance potentially to back down to normal. But just quick, have one more thing. Any other benefits you see from losing this weight? Just think about how you're moving, your clothes, your train. Talk to me about the training in the gym, because you've really started hitting the weights hard, haven't you?
Yes, I'm definitely back in the gym. It's always something I said I've liked to do long term, but I've kind of put it off again because of weight gain and the pain and things like that. So for me, getting back in the gym has been really good. I think from the program you gave me, the kind of full body training, that mentality of switching to full body is really important for me. And I think that's kind of helped me go into the gym a bit better, because I was from I still had the mindset of being 20 years old, and I do, chest day, then arms day, then this, and I'm bodybuilding. But I haven't got time for bodybuilding. I don't have I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I need to be functional. I need to be strong. I need to be healthy. And that mindset shift was really, really important. So what's happened as a result of that is I'm training consistently. I'm training, I'm not missing sessions. All areas of my body are getting trained as well. So legs is something I used to put off quite often back in the day. Now I'm going through leg exercises. I'm squatting, up to 80 kilos now. Benching, if I'm talking 5 reps, or 3 to 5 reps, 100. If I'm talking 10 reps, 90. So my strength's improving as well.
That's amazing, amazing. Look, last couple of questions. I know you're a busy man. What do you think was the defining, what in the program? Because there's obviously different elements of the program, but what was it? What made this one work for you, and what made you stick with it for the 12 weeks? Because you got a fantastic result, but there's a reason something must have gelled with you or made you really stick to it. What was it, do you think?
Knowing what's in my food. That's as simple as that. I think calorie counting, from day one, from when I first downloaded the My Fitness Pal app and started scanning stuff, you actually shock yourself. There was the time on I remember this specifically in day one. I was getting my lunch and I thought, right, I'm going to grab some leftover dipping pots of like that Nando's Peronaise sauce, and I picked it up and I thought, yeah, I need to scan everything. Scanned it and I thought, this is 180 calories in a tiny little pot of sauce, and I thought, I can't have this. So little things like that, where you're like, actually, I could just go without the mayonnaise and just eat what I'm eating normally, and then that mindset shift and understanding what's in the food is really important. And that's kind of the main reason I think it's worked so well, is because taking that step back and knowing what you're eating, which sounds really, really simple. It sounds like obvious, but it's not. I can tell you right now, I wouldn't put myself down as someone who's unintelligent and doesn't know anything, but I was astounded with how many calories were in food. And
It,
that is the big thing for me.
it's absolutely shocking, and the way I always I liken it to finances. It's like someone going into a shop with a credit card and just buying whatever they want and not looking at the bill. Oh, I'll have a little bit of that. I'll try a bit of this, and then at the end of the bill comes, oh my God, it's X amount. And it's the same sort of mentality behind that until you actually look at what you're spending and how calorific something like like sauce or oil or butter or margarine can be, and you realize that if you're only just literally 300-400 calories in a surplus, you're gonna keep gaining weight or at least not lose weight, and that's what keeps people unstuck. So I'm glad that I know the program works, and you followed it perfectly, which is why you've got such a great result. Last couple of questions. If someone was watching this, I speak to a lot of people every week. Some join, some don't for whatever reason. But what would you say? First of all, would you say it was a good investment on your part? And what would you say to the people that were sitting on the fence thinking about joining?
First of all, it's a good investment, simply because it gives you back control of your life. If you are considering joining a program to lose weight, it means it's a problem. I knew it was a problem. Everyone I spoke to in the program knows it was a problem, and they've taken control, taken the bull by the horns, and said, right, I need to fix this problem for my longevity, for my children, for my family, for my work, for whatever I want to do in life. And that's the thing. And I think that as a result of that, getting that back, you look at the value of having that, and having the ability to look at your longevity, to look at your health, to look at how long you can be around for your family, and all of that. Then yeah, it's something that I think for me and for anyone watching who's considering, it makes a big difference. It makes a huge difference to how you see things. Work becomes different, home life becomes different, movement becomes different, everything becomes better. Mental fog lifts as well because you're not eating as much sugar and junk as you were before. And I think for me, that's the big thing.
Awesome. Well, look, chaps, thank you, Darren. It's been amazing having you in the group. It all starts with a 15-minute call. It started with Darren 3 months ago. We'll get on, we'll have a chat, we'll find out what's going on, what's working, what's not. I'll tell you exactly what we're going to do in the program. You won't believe how simple it is, and you might want some extra help after that. So look, go to gavgillibrand.com/book a call, or contact me on social media. We'll jump on the call, we'll get you the help you need, and we'll get you a result like Darren. Darren, you've been an absolute gent. Thanks for being in this part of the program, and keep it going. There's more way to go. I wish you all the best, my man.
Thanks for your work, Gav. Thank you very much.